Good day, students. Today we want to solve problem under bearing. Please analyze the question appropriately. Please let's see what's on the board. And you see that bearing is very simple. Okay. A village P is 10 kilometers from a point X. Draw your cardinal point. That's the first thing to do. The north pole. This is the west, east, and south. That's the village P is 10 kilometers from a point X. This point X from means that starting from that point. Okay. Okay, make sure that the line or the distance that is longer than the one that is shorter, because it is 10 kilometer, and the bearing of 25 degree. You have to write 025 degree to make it 3 significant figure. It's very important in bearing. And we are told that P is at this point. I look at the other distance from X. See P from X. These are X. Another village Q is 6 kilometers from X. From X on the bearing of from X also on the bearing of 162. This from here to here is 90. From here to here is from north to south is 180. 162 approximately be around this point. Or make the line shorter because of the distance, that is 6 kilometers. From here to here now is 162 degree. Now I have to calculate the distance correct. Calculate distance correct, the nearest whole number, and the bearing of P from Q. This is our Q. Okay, they are not. So our Q, take note, and this from here to here is 162. When you subtract from 180, you have 18 degree. This 18, this parallel, this line is parallel to north, this south is parallel to this north, and this one also is 18 degree. Here let's take it to be alpha, we don't know it. Okay, now what next? We are looking for this distance. This capital X, this small letter X, opposite to this angle. This capital P, small letter P, opposite to this angle. Capital Q, small letter Q, opposite to this angle. Now we are using cosine rule to get our X. Cosine rule, or I use cosine rule. Cosine rule. In our cosine rule, we say x squared, the side we are looking for, equals to the square of the two other sides minus, now repeat this, put 2 is a constant, PQ cos the angle facing the sides you are looking for. Now x squared equals, what's our P? P is 6 squared, Q is 10 squared minus 2 times 6 times 10 cos, what's the angle? The angle now, let's look for the angle. Now this 162 from here, that's 162 degree. The angle now will be 162 minus 25. 162 minus 25, that's 7, and the 5, that's 3, 137 degree. Cos 137 degree. In case we are looking for, we are using 4-figure table, you don't have calculator, you have a simple calculator. you can still solve it, but if you have calculator you can press cos 137 directly. Now let's see, we are in quadrant. In the first quadrant we have this fourth quadrant casts this first, second, third and fourth quadrant. In the first quadrant, sine is positive, cos is positive and tan is positive, and it ranges from 0 to 90 degree. Second quadrant, sine is positive, cos is negative, tan is negative. Tan is negative. Now in the third quadrant we have sine to be negative, cos to be negative, tan to be positive, and the second quadrant ranges from 90 to 180 degree. Third quadrant ranges from 180 to 270 degree, while fourth quadrant we have sine to be negative, cos to be positive, tan to be negative. It ranges from 270 degree to 360 degree. You can see that 137 fall in the second quadrant, and let's see what's positive. Sine is positive, cos is negative. You now remove 137 from 180. 180 minus 137, 3, that's 43. You have to introduce negative because cos is negative at that quadrant. X squared equals 6 squared is 36 plus 100 minus 2 times 6, 12 times 10, 120 times minus cos 43 degree. Now x squared equals 136 minus 120 times minus cos 43. Cos 43 you have 0.7314. Now you have to deal with BODMAS. Let's use BODMAS. In BODMAS we deal with multiplication before addition, and then we're having x squared to be equals to 136, negative times negative, that's positive. 120 times 0.7314, we're having 87.768. X squared equals, when you add it together, you're having 223.768. Find the square root of both sides. These two cancel the square root. X equals square root of 223.768. That's 14.959 kilometers. Now it shall be equals to 15. This is above 4. This 9 is above 4. Take it as 1. Add it to 14. 15 kilometer to the nearest whole number. This is very important. When you have to take it to the nearest whole number, there's a mark for that in WAEC for you converting to the nearest whole number has been specified. And the second question is the first question. First part of the question, you have to calculate the bearing of P from Q, what it takes to turn from the north to this P. Okay, we are going to use sine rule. Second one, using second part of the question, sine rule. That's sine Q over Q equals sine X over small letter x, or sine Q. That's sine, what is Q? That's what you're looking for. What's Q? Small letter Q. That's 10. Cos sine X. What's our X? Our X is 137. Sine 137 degree. What's our small letter X? Don't use the one you rounded up. Use the one you got here. 14.959. Here we need to cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you are having 14.959 sine q equals 10 times sine 137 degree divided by 14.959. 14.959 cancel out. Left with sine q equals 10 times. Compress calculator, you get sine 137 direct, but if you are using for figure table, remove it from 180. You having, and it falls on the second quadrant. Sine is positive. Okay, the second quadrant sine is positive. It will be sine 43. Okay, divided by 14.959 sine q equals 10 times sine 43. We are having 0.6820 divided by 14.959. Okay, sine q 10 times 0.6820. We are having 6.82 divided by 14.959. When you divide that, you are having 0.4559. Now your q equals sine inverse of 0.4559. We press second function sine of this value of this figure. When you get that, you will get, when you press that, you get 27.1 degree. 7.1 degree. And don't forget that the addition of this angle q equals the rule of q equals 18 degree plus alpha degree. Now your alpha degree, because q, take 18 to the other side, turn to negative, minus 18 degree. Our q is 27, we got as 27.1 degree minus 18 degree. Alpha degree equals, when you subtract that, you're having 0.9 degree. You have to make it 1 to 3 significant figure on the bearing. That's why I make it 009 and not ordinary 9. 009.1 degree. That's the angle it takes to turn from P, as the bearing of P from Q. The bearing of P from Q, that is to turn from the north to this P. Okay, now say therefore the bearing of P from Q, bearing of P from Q is 009.1 degree. Okay, that's the end of our class. Please subscribe to my channel so that I can have access to the latest video. Have a wonderful day.